What y'all got?
So I've always been involved in the church just because of my grandparents, but I never saw myself stepping up on the stage and being able to do things like that. So this church has allowed me to become more of an open person, and that's just great for me. So.
We love you, girl. Come on. One more.
Can you hear me? I would just say, seeing the growth from May and senior night, and then that pass off to the juniors stepping up this year, and even camp and everything that happened that God did in your life, and seeing you guys now being on a leadership team, I think that alone and that growth, and even inviting people to church and making those connections outside of the church is really cool to see from a leader's perspective, that you guys are not just listening, but you're soaking it in and making moves outside of church.
This year, I confessed all my problems, and I never really thought I would ever be able to do that. But because of the leaders that are sitting here in front of me, I was it would have never happened. So I just want to thank you guys for being here and being accountable and showing up every Wednesday, even though it might be a little late, but you're still here.
Someone felt the conviction of the Holy Spirit right there. No. Yeah, anybody else? Okay. It's been awesome, and I feel like that is just a small touch of what we see, because there's lots of conversations that are happening in the back with leaders, with what's going on in lives, and getting to pray for. And for students, I want to encourage you to not only be here to receive, but there's some friends that you have that are around you that you can invest in, but just know when you need to receive, that's what the leaders are here for. And leaders, hear that. Thank you for showing up. There's 1,000 things that you could be doing, including just sitting on a couch. Thank you for being here, because it really means a lot to me, because it helps me do what I need to do, but then also the students, you're really investing in their lives, and that's a big deal. And so, what I want to do now is just a really touch of where we're going. Our next series that we have is going to be one called Good Grace. And for this purpose is I want to get back to some fundamentals of faith, including things like the power and the work of the Holy Spirit in your life. I think sometimes we have these practical things that we continue to hold up, which you do need to be practical, but also there is this whole other side of where we want to begin to walk in faith in your life for your friends that are walking in anxiety and depression, and these things are just captivated, and the thing that they need is the power of the Holy Spirit working in their lives. So we're going to be going back to some fundamental things that we all need. We all need to touch up on this. Leaders, students, all of us, we need to grow in that world. And then also with Easter, Anna, do we have something that they can do to volunteer for the egg hunt?
Yeah, they just need to text the word eggs to 816-688-4646. There are tons of jobs that you guys can do. Those of you that did Backpack Sunday, who did the quad jumpers are back. There's a tri-jumper instead. There's a train. There's pony rides. There's all kinds of things, and we need all of you to help.
Yeah, so text egg to the number. I would love for all of us to be there. If you say that, I'm a part of the student leadership team, or I'm a part of the youth leadership team, here at New Life, it's not youth and kids, it's New Life. When it comes to Clothing Closet, it's not that ministry and then our ministry, it is ministry, right? So I would love for you guys to be involved in that. Easter egg hunt is a great event. It's one of those events where we just give back to the community and we don't ask for anything back from them, okay? So it's just a great opportunity to serve. Eggs. E-G-G-S-A, according to enunciation. E-G-G-S, I'm just joking. Capital, it doesn't, I don't think it matters.
No, capital doesn't matter. You just gotta have all the
Yeah, just eggs. Just eggs. All right. I'm gonna stop wasting your time on that. All right. So here's some things that we want to talk about really quick. I'm gonna talk for a few minutes just on some tips and tweaks. just kind of in the room, in the space, those types of things. And then Hannah's going to get up and she's going to share really quick. And then we're going to do a quick dream session. I just want you to kind of have an idea of what we're going to be going through really quick. So, number one of the quick things that I always want to encourage you to do for adult leaders is to be with students. I know it's really easy when you get off of work and you're like, oh, you need to hear the day that I had, right? Like, man, put that on pause, go to Johnny's Tavern afterwards if you can, right? Or whatever that is, and just be with students, because we have a lot of students that are in here that need conversations with adults that care about them, that are investing in them, because there's sometimes where you find out a lot about someone's life in a simple conversation that they won't even come back to the altars for, and you can kind of have that moment with them, all right? Second one, and this is a big one. There's the second one and third one are kind of together. It's be early and also with absences, okay? We need you, if you are scheduled for something, we need to know as soon as possible that you're not going to be there. 5:30 on Wednesday, probably not the best time, because at that point, we're going to scrape together something. But what we want to do is we want to continue to grow in what we provide for students. Sometimes it's really hard to grow in something if it feels like it's just last minute. Okay, so if you can be here, let us know if you're not going to be here, and then also be early with the worship team. Hannah's going to talk more about that and some practice stuff that they're going to be doing. But for us, that leaders and student leaders, if you're on the microphone, we're going to start doing a run through on Wednesdays before prayer. So I'm asking if you're on a microphone, I would love for you to be here at 5:30, 5:45, just depending on how big the night is. And we're going to walk through transitions. I would love if production can be here too. We'll figure that out. But transitioning with songs and with new games, we're probably going to try and pick up our what we're doing production-wise on my side, so that we have more stuff and it feels like it flows a little bit better. But then also, man, I don't know about you. There's plenty of times where I have a terrible day, then I walk in here and I have pre-service prayer, and man, it shifts my entire focus. There's sometimes it's really hard for you to be nice to a student if you have not had your time with Jesus. And this is a great opportunity. Pray for the service. Pray that God grabs your heart, get focused, and ready for the night to go. And that's just a big thing. Another one that Hannah's going to address with the worship team, but also, actually, I'm gonna address it here, is one of the things I want to encourage us to do is when you're showing up on Wednesdays is to be thinking through how can I provide the best environment and experience for everyone. And one of the things I want to encourage you to think through is even your wardrobe, is as you're getting dressed for whether you're up on worship or whether you're leading a game or you are doing announcements, think through, is what I'm wearing going to be a distraction? And like, if you show up in a ketchup outfit, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, there's just some clothing that we probably want to pay attention to it. And whenever we're leaders, and this is one thing I want to encourage everybody on, is I believe that you are leaders, student leaders and adult leaders for a reason. And here's what I always know is that whenever we step into leadership, God always calls us to a higher standard. We don't want to be the exception to the rule. We want to be the standard of the rule. And so when it comes to that, just be thinking through your outfits. And I know, like, some of you, you're like, I'm just coming from this practice or that practice. Like, try and think ahead. Be ready to go, ready to just tackle that. There might be some additional stuff that are you guys talking a little bit more in worship on outfits, wardrobes, those types of things? Okay. And then also, 2 weeks in a row, we've had issues on the stage in the back area. I love the birthday surprises, but things got unplugged because people were walking around back there, all right? So if any time that you're up here, whether you're running a game or whether you're going to surprise me with a birthday party, like, let's stay on the front side of the stage, okay? like no unplugging stuff or stepping on stuff. It just makes it better for all of us. Like, 2 weeks ago, whenever I was like, oh, this track is so good. And it was like, it's not there. Like, what's happening? There was something got unplugged back there. So be very careful when you're back there. And then here's another one. I know that I've been asked, this is more for the adult leaders, but then I'm also going to bring it to a student level as well, okay? Is disciplining students. Yes, God. All right. Is disciplining students. One of the things that I don't want like, boo, like, you know, like you were not the axe, you were not the judge, jury, and executioner, right, for a student. But when it comes to students, what I want to do is I always want to invite them first towards the right direction. Hey, let's be focused. Hey, can you help me with this? And if it's not, say, hey, can you come stand with me over here? It's kind of inviting them into correction. But we all know that there are some students that you're like, give me that ball. I ain't gonna give you the ball. Like, I'm gonna throw you outside in a second, right? No, but there is a moment where you do need to be hard, but I think that we can get a lot accomplished in questioning and asking, hey, can you do this for me? Can you? And it's just inviting them. I don't know, it's a softer way at first, but then as you progress, then you probably, if it just continues on, there's like, I'm just not gonna listen to you. Let's remove them from the opportunity for it, or get them to a different space, or just be in their space. It's my favorite thing to do during worship.
Okay, so any adult in this room scheduled for anything, I mean, unless you're on the stage, probably not the best to do it from the microphone, but like walk up to the student, hey, can we, like, how about you come worship with me? Or you see those people that are raising their hands, that's what we're supposed to be doing in worship. Feel the empowerment, because Matt and I can't be everywhere, and we need you to help us with that.
And here's a way to think about it too. If I ever have to discipline from the microphone, we all lose. Because if I'm disciplining from the microphone, I don't know about you, if I have that moment, I'm like, well, I'm done with you, right? Like, everybody's looking at me now, I am not paying attention, I want to crawl into a hole right now. And so if you can do that from being with students, that very first thing, if you can do that with being with students, I think that changes everything. Because if we're not with them, we can't guide them, we can't direct them. And so when it's worship time, like, be in worship, not just in the back of worship. When it's time for the message, let's be in the seats. And then for students, right, you don't just be like, yo, shut up, fool. You want, like, even with your friends, hey, can we pay attention for a second? I'm trying to hear what he's trying to say. And you can have little conversations with people around you, and they can help you. Yes, Dinah? Oh, yeah. If someone's airdropping stuff, just take the phone. Like, say, hey, don't do that. And if they do it, yeah.
The great Yuri Agnes is really good about diffusing bombs, and so a great intro, like you were saying, ask questions. He always starts with, I need your help. Every time, whether you're negotiating at Walmart for a sticker or whatever, whether you're talking to a youth, if you start with, I need your help, and then, hey, we're doing this. Most people will use their, aggression when you're, because people like to help them. Usually, unless they're used.
Yeah, and that to me is absolute, yeah. Just, I need your help. Can you help me with this? Or can I get you to do me a favor? Like in youth, when I'm preaching, I say, hey, can I ask you a question real quick? No one's ever like, no. That's coming at some point. I know it is. Lizzie is going to get kicked out immediately. But when it comes to like those times, I just want to encourage you, be empowered to help people. Because it's not, we don't want people just to shut up and be quiet. Like, if it's too quiet in a room, it's like nerve-wracking for me. But I want students to be able to hear what God wants to speak to them. And whenever we just kind of be like, I just want to be their friend, really it's not very friendly, allowing them to continue to walk in their error, right? Let's be good friends. Let's be good leaders. Let's encourage them in the right directions. Awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a friend come up, Hannah Agnes. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, like there's just been like just a good atmosphere. I don't know if anybody else needed it, but I definitely needed it on Wednesday. That like moment of silence. It was just kind of like, Right? And I heard from so many students just the simple fact, number one, I don't do that. And man, I didn't even know I needed that. And so it was really good and getting to lead them through that. And I just want to, can we just give it up for Hannah right now? Come on up here. She's going to talk about a few things and then we're going to break up after that.
How's it going? I'm Hannah. I'm so stoked to be here. I've been going to New Life for a hot minute, probably like a decade, 10 years now. So I've been through youth. I was a crazy kid. I'm pastor's kid. I'm just kind of like every kid balled into one. So I just love being here and having a chance to. I just love you guys. I'm just so pumped. Did y'all get the emails? And I kind of ended it with like, hey, I appreciate you. I value you, and I really want you to know that I value you as a person. Yes, thank you for using your gifts, but I appreciate you. And just thank you for being obedient and going in what God's called you to do. So, let's go. Part of what we're doing here, my mom and I, say hi Mama Agnes, Andrea. We kind of have two goals for youth worship. We want to be spiritually authentic and musically excellent. So those two things are hand in hand, two big goals that we have. And Mama has been a music teacher since Nam. So we're just kind of getting down to the nitty gritty and doing a lot of vocal coaching, musical coaching, and hoping to move in that direction in the future. So we've already seen some great progress and we're super pumped. So we're going to talk about integrity and influence. Y'all ready? Okay, everybody say integrity. Can somebody tell me what integrity means? Allie.
Doing what's right, even when no one's watching.
Yes, so being the same person you are at church, that you are at school, at home, yada yada. We can kind of replace this word with consistency, yeah? And I know that a lot of adults struggle with this, and a lot of our youth struggle with this. So this is for everybody. And if you know me, you know that I sub in Oak Grove. And it breaks my heart when on a Wednesday, I see these just fired up youth, all in for Jesus, leading the youth, and then I walk into school, and like, who is this person? It breaks my heart. And that's integrity. And it breaks my heart because I see the potential. I see you all fired up for Jesus. I see there's like no cap. There's no limit to your potential. And then I get to school, what's going on? And your integrity impacts your influence. Your integrity impacts your influence. If you're consistent, people are going to go to you. You're honest, you're reliable, and if you're two different people, bro. So, and it's exhausting. Being two different people, putting on that mask, it just sucks, right? And so, what it boils down to is, who am I reflecting? That's the question. Who am I reflecting? And if you don't struggle with integrity, which is awesome, maybe if you see a student, you can ask them, hey, who are you reflecting? As soon as we accept Jesus into our hearts, we kind of have a spotlight on us. We have this expectation to, Jesus calls us, and He set us apart to live a life of integrity, right? Okay, so, integrity. I'm a little everywhere, sorry. Your integrity impacts your influence. Now, what's influence? Briefly. integrity impacts your influence. And a lot of us think of like social media influencers when we think about influence. But I wanna talk about social media and just who we are outside of church. Is all this making sense? I'm just kind of blah, 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 blah. Okay, awesome. Bottom line, you're a reflection of Jesus. And I know people say this all the time, but you could be the only Jesus somebody sees. And if you're posting whatever on TikTok and like even something that we may not think is like a big deal, like an explicit song or just dropping a few words here and there, that's a big deal. That's gonna impact your influence. Okay? Cool. So challenge you as a leader, and don't like stalk anybody. But you know, we're all holding each other accountable, and just don't be afraid out of love to say, hey, who are you reflecting? Who are you reflecting? Let's go. Okay. So this integrity talk points to worship, and I want to hit on worship for like just a second. Well, I always think of worship as we're standing up here, singing songs, lifting our hands, but I want to move into teaching our youth that worship is not just songs. That's like 2%, but 98% of it is your lifestyle, what you're doing, how you're engaging with God, how you're talking to people. What I'm doing right now is worship. What you're doing right now is worship. Okay? Everything is worship. And the heart of worship is reflecting Jesus. The heart of worship is reflecting Jesus and pursuing Jesus. This is so important. And I think this is something that adults have a hard time grasping. And so for our youth to grasp this, game changer. Your lifestyle, what you do is a reflection of Jesus. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that in our dream session. But yeah, that's my heart. We're going to chase spiritual authenticity and musical excellence. So, integrity, influence, does that make sense? Okay. Good? All right, thanks for listening to me brain vomit for a second.
All right. And mostly everybody's kind of broken down into groups together already, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to break into worship team, DJ group, production team, games, and leaders. So what we're going to do is we're going to have leaders. We're gonna stay at this table. All right. So leaders are going to be right here. Production team right here, right there in the back. Let's go with worship team over here. Worship team over here, and then. And then the DJ group that they talked to, right here, and the student leaders over here. Like if you're just microphone, things like that, or whatever, we're gonna have you over on that far side. Ready, break. I'm gonna give you some direction too, just so you're not just like, hey friends, what's going on here? Games, we're gonna go back to that round table back there. The far round table. If you run games, you're gonna go with Wyatt back there in the back.
I didn't mention this, but have y'all heard of the DJ group? I know I've kind of been talking about it for a little bit, but part of my heart for youth worship is that I don't want to just sing songs that I think are awesome or Mash thinks is awesome. We want to get as much youth input as possible in this new direction we're going. So the DJ group, they're gonna come up with all these playlists, and they're gonna be you can change the group too. We're dreaming. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so we're going to be dreaming about different things. And so each group, I'm just going to throw out some things that I want you to be thinking about, and then we'll kind of go from there. Because the whole idea is this. I know that sometimes we kind of get stuck a little bit in just what we need, but sometimes dreaming is for needs, but then also we just want to get into a little bit more. So, all right. All right, so for worship team, Hannah and Andrea, you guys are owning that one, I believe. And so they'll guide you on that. DJ group, what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be focusing on playlists, song ideas, input on set lists, things like that. She's got some papers for you. And I want you to dream too, like what is the playlist before services? Are we dropping playlists for things outside as well? Leaders, I'm gonna come to you in a second. All right, I'm gonna be with you guys. We're having fun. We're at a party. All right, and then production team. One of the things, can you help us think through or dream about like training sessions? Because we have some students that I think would be incredible back there, but we need training, and I can't really contribute too much to that. So you guys are awesome. Leaders, student leaders and adult leaders, we're going to kind of team up together on this a little bit. And go. It's going to be a little bit short. It's going to be about 15 minutes.
WSP community. You should have a bunch of games. I feel like that's what we should have. Because you have to like get them tests, like the I mean, this like sounds bad, but like when I started playing, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so fun. And now I'm gonna
And a lot of companies think so, churches can't play to sit there and listen to the guy talk about shit. But then you bring in, hey, we're in a literal gym, we play basketball with the other games, and they're like, oh, this is cool now, man. I should go to this, try it out. It's not as boring anymore. It's not that boring for that kind of shit.
I feel like more or less like we should focus on like obviously we should focus on like other students. Like there's a ton there's so important.
I feel like those texts really reach people. Like,
Color war this year will be my one.
like when you text us, like the leaders and everybody, and they post on their story or whatever, I mean, it gets people's attention. Like, hey, I want to try that out. That was fun. Like, I post my story of us hanging out. People texting me, yeah, hey, man, if I join you through my story, like, come on out. It's awesome. People see that we're having fun and doing like awesome things, and we just said that to me. I think those texts really get me. The more things from those texts, and like how good it's gonna be.
I feel like that was the insane action. Like we should make that case for like those throwing the basketball back. Yeah, the one from like half court.
From like 6 to 7 would just be shooting a basketball.
I was jiggling the bat.
do about 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. So wrapping up. Game team, you guys can come up here too when we're done. I know we can go on and dream about this more. What I would encourage you to do is if you have continued ideas, like for me, I want you to know, like I'm an open book, and I'm open to suggestions, and so I'll hear it. We may not use it, but we may use some things because I try not to be the smartest person in the room, which is most rooms. All right, game team, come on up this way. All right, so what we're going to do really quick is, just really quick, I want to hear a few ideas from each group, just kind of some different brainstorm things that you had. We're going to start with the student leaders. Lizzie, are you the spokesperson? All right, here we go.
Okay, so for like the welcome part, like when people come in, I don't know how many girls went to the thing on Friday, but when we walked in, they were like, "Hey guys, by the way, we're going to play like a Kahoot or whatever in a little bit," and it like made me feel welcome, and it like made me feel like I was supposed to be there. I feel like maybe we do that on stage, like when people walk in, we're like, "Hey, there's basketball in the corner, hey, there's 9 square," or whatever we're doing that day. And then another idea we had for welcome is like when someone new comes in the door and they like sign the new slip, have someone like bring them in and host kind of, and do the same thing, like, "Hey, there's 9 square, this is my friend, da 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 da, like we would love for you to sit with us," and stuff like that. We brought up a lot of ideas. We also brought up the high school service, because middle school gets their own service, so we brought up the high school service because that'd just be fun.
All right. Adult leaders, what you got? We all know it was Megan. Come on.
Girl, get your own table. So, this was like the general consensus, a new youth building. That's our big thing. I think meeting over, just a new youth building. No, that was the big thing. But then the other thing is just, how can we make sure the students know who leaders are and maybe make them feel a little more comfortable if they knew something about us? And is there any way, it gets very confusing during prayer time when there's clumps of parents back here and students may not know, like, are you a mom and dad? Are you a youth leader? And also it's kind of awkward when you're trying to pray with someone and their parents are standing right there. And like, they're like, So I don't know if we can like make a parent section like, hey, welcome, but don't come too close. I don't know.
So, question on that, leaders and even student leaders, like, would a lanyard help you feel like it's a clear identifier? Because we've done that in the past, but it lasted for like 1 week, and then we're like, I don't know where mine is. And so, like everybody, nobody knows. Okay, nobody. All right, all right.
I feel like we could have like, I don't know if we could do this like in the future or whatever, but we could have like a certain shirt, like, like wear a new life shirt, like and we could all match, or we could.
All right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think lanyard. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say for media and leaders and student leaders, we have badges now, so you know who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. And so I feel like that could help with students, especially for those who are black don't crack and they think you're still a student. But I think it would just help, and it's a good way for all the new people coming in that are leaders, like, hey, I am a leader, you can trust me. Also, I'm here for your safety.
So I do think lanyard, but also, Ann and I talked about this before in the past, is, and this is even kind of the conversation too, is on the backside of the adult lanyard of maybe having a checklist like media of saying, hey, here's what a win looks like every Wednesday. Here's how many students you should talk to. Here's how many, like maybe a little bit of a breakdown on the backside of, hey, am I getting a win today? Is this really a win? So that's the idea. Game crew.
So we were thinking like big, like just thinking of more games, because like we do the same games, it feels like besides like the past 2 weeks, because we had theme nights, like other than theme nights, we do Burn on the Purge, Head Shoulders Cup. But like if anyone has any games like you find, shoot them to me, and I will get them. I will try my best to figure it out, how to make it work with 100+ students. But and we're gonna work on, I wanna figure out transition-wise too. Like I know that's not around the games, but we're a part of the transition. But like make it more smoothly, like knowing who's gonna have the mic after you. I feel like that's a big part to make it more smooth, and be ready to grab the mic. Like if you're back over here roaming around, you know you're up next, and boom, where is this person at, But yeah.
You look kind of foolish when you're like, and the next person isn't even in the room right now. Where are they? So yes, I think that's one of the things why I want to do that early run through before prayer, is that's going to help out transitions, talk through games, all those things. I do think, we're going to have some fun.
So you guys know how we had that where everyone who's new came in and got to meet our leaders and like things like that? What if we did that just for youth? And like and just how someone could, like each person could come up and introduce himself, like, hi, I'm Cameron, here, like 2 fun facts about me, here's what I do, and here's like I can help you. And that could just be like a start.
Come on, Cameron. That's so good. Yes.
So good. So this, what?
Did anybody take a note of that? Okay.
This is why we're here, y'all. I'm so excited. Okay, so worship. We want to pull from songs from the DJ group, which I don't know if they got to talk about that at all. But maybe having some new songs in rotation, and just like I want to keep up with what's happening. Elevation Rhythm's dropping a new album, and like, let's go. We were talking about, like Master or Allie, do like a little teaching on worship, and like when that fits in best, and how to teach it, and like talk about stories and humor, and we literally just scratched the surface. And then we talked about energy, like on stage, and then the little mosh pit situation and the hype songs and it's gonna be so good. And then I know we didn't talk about this yet, but boot camp for our team, and because we're just kind of limited on what we can do in practice. We just have a set amount of time, but we need to do lots of tweaks. So, yeah.
Awesome. Production team. Does anybody want to talk on the microphone from the production team? Because they're like, I'm using the soundboard.
We're just gonna be better.
That's what we said. We're sorry, guys. We let you down. Yeah. Tad's no longer with us, so we identified. No, I'm just kidding. No, we just talked about just taking the execution up a little bit more, focus, and especially bringing in student leaders as well in back there. So just making sure that we command that space, so that we own the room, so that they are focused and doing work. And then just preparation. So one of the things that I asked the guys that are here, because obviously I'm not in here, but I'm over there, but we can help kind of the prep. So we're going to step up by we, I mean Andrew and me. Yeah. Our preparation on Wednesdays to make sure that, yeah, I know we didn't talk about it, but you just go roll with it, okay? But we're gonna be more consistent. We're gonna try to just shape up some things that will help the presentation come through better. So we are going to be better. We're going to be better. Is Michelle Obama in the room? All right. That's all we got. We're going to do good. And if you know anybody that wants to be in production, we could use some people, so. Yes. Spread the word. Yeah, before you leave, if you have that sheet of paper, I'd love to have that, or so I can get a picture of it. Yeah, hey. She's like, I'm gonna drop some more knowledge.
I had one more thing. So, what if I know we have youth here, but what if we had one Sunday a month designated to youth? There could be our worship team on a Sunday, just us singing, just so they can see that we have worship here too, and we can project it out towards the adults too.
Yeah. What's it? DJ group.
Yeah, so we're gonna start a new thing, youth DJ. So any music that you hear throughout the week, I know Boost Radio is real lit. Not Boost Mobile, Sport T-Mobile. But anyways, we're better than AT&T. Sorry, Justin. But if you hear a song on the radio, or you like Andy Mineo, rap, whatever, upbeat, let me know. Shoot me a text of the song, because I want to start doing a playlist for this and get some ideas going for what the pre-party could look like for youth, maybe even an after party. So I just wanted to give that out.
Yes. And man, I do know this. I think whenever we get together and there is some dreaming, I think that we always come out better. I think because whenever we really start to kind of roll and get ideas out there, we actually, sometimes someone will see one thing that nobody else sees, and it brings awareness, and then everybody's like, oh yeah, right, that's right, the thing. So thank you guys for that. Like I said, let me get a picture of that. If you have the paper, take a picture of it, send it to me, text it to me. If you want to, you can just give it to me and take a picture for yourself, whichever way you want to do that. But we love you guys. I really appreciate, don't airdrop it to me. Don't airdrop it. We really appreciate you guys for being here, because all the little things that you do that sometimes you feel like they don't matter, they make an incredible difference in someone's life. And so I would encourage you to keep on pushing. I really would encourage you, maybe even think through tonight, what is my purpose for being here? Why am I really here? What is the real thing that I'm here? Because I get a sense that sometimes, or maybe even right now, there's some people that there is a weariness. And I think that reflecting on again what that why is, what that purpose is, will get you back in the game. Get you off the bench, back in the game, and running and rolling and all this stuff. So I just want to say we love you guys. We're excited for you. I'm going to pray, and then we're going to get out of here, especially if you have a parent that's waiting on you. Dearly Father, we thank you so much for today. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to get together, to grow together. God, I pray that your goodness, I pray that your grace be with us as we leave this place. God, I pray that you give energy. God, I pray that you give creativity. I pray that you help us to be willing and ready to listen to the voices that we need to listen to. God, help us to continue to make impacts on students' lives. God, we love you. We praise you for everything. And we pray, amen. Hey, really quick. Merch order went out, so we should, in the next couple weeks, be getting some new merch, so hoodies and different things like that. And then I'm gonna shoot a text on you adult leaders.
If you can stay and dream, you can. If you don't have any commitments. Also, just want to let you know, I'm on your team, and you can tell me anything. How are we gonna get better if we don't know what we need to improve on? So you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I need your feedback. I'm open. Okay, you're not gonna offend me. I'm on your team. Everybody clear on that? Okay. Cool. Vocals and music people, we're gonna meet in 5 minutes. And you're free to stay and powwow and dream and shoot me texts. I wanna know. I'm a dreamer. Let's go.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.